How about now? Can you hear me? Was I on mute this whole time? How about now? Because I think I had the mute button going. Can you let me know? If not, then okay. Okay. That's crazy. So, hi, Irvin. So I was going on for 3 minutes. Okay, that's great. I hope you guys are having a great day. I didn't know that I had the mute button. It'd be like that. I was telling you guys that I've been responding to some emails. I don't know, Irvin, what kind of YouTube channels you've been watching lately, but I came into this space. Hey, honey. I came into this space a lot with like the American National Movement, the passport process, all of that stuff. Basically, like helping people like learn, what their birth certificate is. I don't know if you heard any of those videos, authenticating your birth certificate. There's a whole thing. It's basically correcting your political status. And I don't know if you heard any straw man talk, but I do help people with those type of questions because I've been doing that for a few years. And how to assign, like, we help people lower the national debt because when you learn the monetary system, you know that, we're working off debt, that, you know, they have turned your name into what is deemed a corporation. And it's basically like, we have that birth certificate is an indemnity receipt. It's an actual receipt. And it's supposed to be used to set off and have the Secretary of the Treasury set off a lot of our debt. So that's like deep high level stuff. I was going into what I have in my car. Of course, I have the state constitution in here. So some of us, that's what we do. I mean, believe it or not. I guess some people want me to come on here and do like tutorials and stuff, but yeah. So I can be a big nerd on the side as well. So yeah, when it comes to going into it, I will do like little shorts, and when I have some of my notes in front of me, I'll kind of go through it like step by step. Like I can go through like how to fill out certain forms, how to so-called surrender, or you can assign one of the certificate of live births to the treasury and have that set off a lot of the debt as well too. So there's different things, but again, there's so many different channels teaching this stuff, so I don't want to confuse you guys. But knowing your rights is super important. I try to teach people that, not to get all crazy, because again, then you go into different sectors where you'll have like guys, get mad and talk about child support and want ways to, get out of it, and, just to blame women. So I stay away from, those sorts. And if they have like, real questions, if they're a student, that's fine. But I've seen some people who are like, oh, I just want to get out of this particular situation. And with stuff like this, you got to study like ahead of time. On my downtime, people ask me like, what do you do? Well, I got to read. I got to absorb. I got to keep my mind stimulated. I was up a little bit last night doing some reading just so I can understand, overstand how to do certain things so I can replicate it and teach other people. And if you see in my home office, you'd be like, dang, girl, like you're in it, right? I'm like a mad accountant. I'm like Ben Affleck and the accountant. I'm like in there, all the paperwork, trying to put it all together, high level accounting. Been really interesting, but it's really high level knowledge. So I try to keep a distance from like the political debates and stuff. Although Donald Trump, I've seen him help some of this movement. I don't know if you want to call it the Patriot movement or the American National Movement, but I've seen like proof that he is an ally to those who care about their rights and stuff. And maybe that's why he gets a lot of shit on, the political spectrum. Although behind the scenes, they're probably all part of the same like fraternity or whatever. So I try not to even go there, because to me, when you learn more about, like a little bit more about it, you understand that the US, it's just a company. Okay, It's a company within a nation in DC. So they work for the company. It's kind of like bookkeeping. We're outside of that jurisdiction. So I try not to use the term US citizen because it's separate from being an American national. So when you do your passport, we do like a status correction that you would attach to it, and that you would simply say you're not a 14th Amendment citizen, that this was like fraud perpetuated against you at your birth. And you'll see like a date where you were born, and then a few days later there's a file date. So just like the movie Us, right? They made like a counterpart, like a franchise, off of our name a few days later, which has limited rights, and they can tax that and do all these things, right? I need to work on remaining silent. Yeah, don't we all, right? In certain situations. But I said how I'm an inhabitant of Massachusetts, so I like having the Constitution in my car. There's been many occasions where I had to school some officers, right, or just people in general. And like I said, I like to work smarter, not harder. I was just riding down the street, and I seen a lady like sweating her butt off with those signs like, turn to Jesus and all this stuff. I'm like, with the technology, couldn't you just do a video or something? I wouldn't be out there sweating my freaking tits off, like, just to prove a point. I'm sorry. Even though those people are misguided as well, too, because Christianity, as we know it today, is so far removed, okay? Do I sponsor immigrants? At this time, not. I was asked to do one, but they have like really stringent, like, to do that, they want to see like 3 years of your tax records. Like, I had a relative ask for a friend, and I'm just like, and I thought it was just like a reference thing, like, oh, if you know the individual for a while. But I was asked for like, I'm like, that's very invasive to do that. So I wasn't comfortable doing that because they really wanted 3 years of your sponsor's tax records. And not everyone files, especially with some of the stuff that I go into. Sometimes you're not required to file. But they want a sponsor who has filed their income tax for the past. So I think I had like maybe 1 year or something. So it wasn't even, so they had to ask someone else. Yeah. So I don't, because I can't. If it was something that could really help someone out and I knew them and they needed the help, that's different. But the stuff they ask for is really strange. Like, they really get into the person's background. And when you look it up, it's almost saying like you're going to be, even though the person could be working and doing what they do, like when you look up the rules, it's saying, you're basically saying that you're financially responsible, like you would be, even if you don't actually, but like you got to say that. So that's like a huge commitment. So I've seen that for people who married someone that wasn't from here, and you would think, oh, just marrying them, they would be great. They were still asking for sponsors. And I was like, okay, fine. Isn't that just like a way to like vet someone? But no, they want the sponsors' tax records too. So I wasn't comfortable with all these people having my tax ID number. I think they changed that due to, well, this was recent. I was literally asked this like not even a month ago. So it was someone that I had to say, I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I would if I could. Like, it was someone in my family that like married someone, like, but I still felt uncomfortable because I never met the person. That's number one. So I was like, whoa, I gotta like really know what I'm dealing with here, number one. And number two, I asked what the requirements were. And they were like, oh, we just need 3 years of your tax records. I'm like, is that all? You don't need a pint of blood? Is that all? 3 years? I was like, are you all right? I was like, whoa, I can't do all that. I'm sorry. I would, if there was an easier way, that's great, I try not to get into that, and I try not to get into the talks too. Then you got the people on the other side. Oh, the immigrants are taking all the jobs. I've been hearing that shit since I was 10 years old. In some form or another, most people are here immigrants, unless you were like the original tribes here. So it's ridiculous. And some so-called immigrants that come down here, they like really go through a hardship. Like there's some foreign exchange students that work where I work, and they were better back home. It seems like they were better back home. Like they were living a lot better. Like they are slumming over here. They're already like, I'm ready to go back home. They are so unimpressed. I was like, you see, they talk up America like it's gonna be like this big thing. And I feel for them too, because they get paid less than Americans. Like they're getting paid less. So it's not like something to flex over. And their rent is atrocious. They have to, board with other students, and then they have to use their little bikes to get to work. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous. I really feel bad for them. It was great meeting them. They're really great kids. They were from Turkey, and they were very, modest, very well behaved, just really like serious type of kids, so I really respected them. And we got used to having them all summer, but I guess they're gonna go back home in 2 weeks. And we had like a little pool party because I work at a hotel, and we finally got to touch the water for once, right? And it was really sweet. It was like, for the staff and stuff. And tomorrow we have a work picnic, so they're going to be able to go back home with like some good memories. They need to spend 5 minutes in Detroit. I can imagine. I've never been to Michigan. It's cold over there too. Is it really tough out there also? I'm sure there's hood everywhere, I'm sure. And where they're working, it's really like a good part of the state. So yeah, but they were showing pictures from where they're from, and it looked like, Boca Raton. It was like a nice pot of turkey, so they definitely are ready to go back home. So I was like, can you take me with you? I think, I'm kidding, but I was just like, it's really that nice over there? That's good. They're like, oh yes, like they were acting like, they just said everything was just way too expensive. All they got to, they didn't have to work as hard, it seems like, over there, which was really interesting. And they really love their Domino's pizza. They're freaking ordering that shit every other day for lunch. I'm like, you guys are going to turn into a pizza. Aren't you sick of this shit already? I'm like, but they really love Domino's. So shout out to you, Domino's, because that is there's many pizza places in that area, but they're always ordering. I can always see the trash in the trash can with the boxes, and I'm always laughing at myself. I'm like, for us, we're like, oh, it ain't nothing, but to them, it's like a huge deal. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have one over there. Maybe they're gonna go make one now, pretty much, right? So, how was your day, Irvin? Was it really good? Today was basically a half day for me. The company I work is pretty good because they let us out a little bit early, but we still got paid for a full day. So I'm like, yay, So some days are like that, which is good. Your day was okay. That's awesome. I was just doing like, it's beautiful out today, quiet day. Yeah, today it's gorgeous too. You got people like walking their dog. I have like a beautiful view. You can kind of see like I'm on top of this hill, just taking in the scenery before I go in and stuff. So everyone's just doing their thing. I was gonna go for a walk, but I am like super tired today. I've been up like since the butt crack of dawn too, and we got like this huge thing at work tomorrow, and I gotta get up at 5, and it's like a huge like potluck day, like one of those, like it's like like a friendly picnic conference or something. It's not work, but you technically still gotta show up, dress casual. They feed you all day. There's like team building exercises, but you get paid like you're working. So I'm like, hey, it's pretty good. I guess that's fine. It's hot out there where you are. Yeah, it's still pretty muggy. And yeah, so I wish I had more time to go at the pool, but I already got myself like all messy. I think I got like tanning lotion on me. I literally just washed the shirt. That's why I'm forever doing laundry constantly, because I'm always doing something and I make a whole mess out of myself. But I was saying too that I'm gonna be doing like videos as a more into like the talks, like going into different laws. I know some people like the status correction topic. I know it's kind of like boring for others, but it's something that you already got to be like digging into a little bit. I don't know what you know about the status correction, what you know about the estate or straw man or any of that nonsense, but I have like step-by-step processes, how to fill out the paperwork to get your birth certificate authenticated, how to fill it out where you assign it to the treasury, because it is a bond. If you didn't know, you should watch the little short, Meet Your Straw Man. And there's a book, Irvin, I don't know if you heard of it. You can buy it on Amazon. It's literally like $5 to $10, and it's called Meet Your Straw Man. And it kind of goes into, how they turned people into corporations at birth, kind of Wizard of Oz kind of thing, right? What your so-called social security number really is. If you didn't know, that was a damn bank number. Already put it to the test, my dear. I help people obtain EINs and different stuff, but when I first came into it, I'm gonna have to expose some channels too. I'm gonna have to like throw my shots in the air as well, because there was certain channels that are still teaching now that were doing things like the 1099 process and stuff like that, and they were taking people's money and saying that they were going to get funds, and it never go nowhere. So those people need to be like put on blast. Some of their channels, they're still going on now. They've promoted other people on their channel. So they've taken people's like social security numbers. Yes, Meet Your Straw Man. So there's been certain channels, like I think one's MW, something like that, EDU, Jared Realtor. He had a Helping Hands Corporation. I'm still gonna expose some of those names too, because they took a lot of people's information and it went nowhere. And even in some instances, they made contracts with said people, so said people can get them for breach of contract. Okay, because they took all this information and they shouldn't have took it. Like if you're just teaching people how to do step-by-steps, that's one thing. If you're just teaching people how to set off, but if you're doing certain processes and you're taking all their information and you're not producing no results, period. Like you took their information, shrug, I guess it's not going through for whatever reason, they need to be sued. And including some of these content creators, I don't give a shit. They really need to be sued, because a lot of them are on demon time and throwing God's name around in the air like they just don't care. But I've been watching them for the past year or two, and I'm like, I can still see you, boneheads. Like, you can continue to push your classes and your whatever. I'm just like, anyone falls for that shit after they scammed the first batch of people, and I was in the chats in like the first, like couple of months when they were doing that, and they were, introducing people to some of their co-hosts. They'd have some people on their stuff, but no one should be asking you for your personal information. And if they did and they made a contract, now they're your fiduciary and they owe you big time, if they like it or not. They like it or not, right? Because just being on these YouTube streets doesn't absolve people. Like, oh, shrug. Like, no, you took people's information, their social, whatever. And some of these people are so vile that I seen one fighting with like an audience member, and they were like, oh, you better not go there, I have your information. I was like, wow, that person should have got blasted right there on the spot. Like, how are you even going to say that? And people still rock with some of these channels. I'm like, you guys are going to get what you asked for, which is a whole brick wall. Be careful. Like, if I'm working with someone coaching and, you know what I'm saying, you give me a Cash App you support me. My Cash App is Diana -7 or Kadesh Gardens. I'm going to give you information. I'm not going to take your information. I don't need your information. If I give you templates, I'm going to make sure to redact mine and you just fill it out yourself. There's no need for me to take your information. I will give you the step-by-steps needed. You know what I'm trying to say? But if they're asking you like your personal information, red flag, red flag, red flag, get out of there. I wouldn't call what these people are doing creating content. Exactly. I think farts have more content than what these freaks are doing. Exactly. And I've been watching them and they're like, they love stroking their own ego. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You can do whatever and put God's name into it. It don't matter. If anything, it makes it worse. Like, be careful, because this is definitely like a spiritual movement too. It's like you really got to pray on it. Some of these terms, and it's like so convoluted. How this deception has been placed upon the people, that you really need to like pray on it and study and study and study to like even get the comprehension. And you don't need people like misguiding you or whatever, and you really need God to open your eyes, and you have to have a pure spirit. But some people, they know people want the truth so bad and they take it too far, you know. I don't do any info trade with anyone. Exactly. And you don't even have to do that. That's why I like giving my my tips. I'll give you like the type of books that I listen that I read from. I'll tell you if that's what you're comfortable with. That is fine, because I also do like videos too. People want like extra stuff that's different, or for my time, completely different. Awesome. But I also do presentations too. So when I have my notes, like, you know, I'll pick another day this week. I do have Friday off. I'll make sure I'll go into like my different notes. If it's something that you heard of before, you can have your notebook out. You know what I mean? I'll let you know, hey guys, have your notebook ready. This video, you're going to get notes, right? And I'll go down all the laws and all the stuff. And I always tell you guys, have like the state constitution. It secures a lot of your rights too. And just to like recite it to yourself, and I leave it in my car. And, you know, I read through it. Do you sell farts in the jar? Do you smell it too? Well, there you go, Dave. So anyway, when it comes to just like, I do like watching other content creators that are doing videos, sharing some of their knowledge, their information. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I will learn from them. They can learn from me. So, you know, it just depends, you know. So I don't ask to like swap whatever. If anything, I've been kind of keeping this information for many years now, and I know people are just starting to learn, so I do like sharing when I can, because I know you know, I can't digest all of it. But when you read a little bit here, there was the part where I thought was interesting about the Constitution, the state constitution. It says, "We therefore, the people of Massachusetts, acknowledging with grateful hearts the goodness of the great legislator of the universe, in affording us in the course of his providence an opportunity, deliberately and peaceably, without fraud, violence, or surprise, of entering into an original, explicit, and solemn compact with each other, and of forming a new constitution of civil government for ourselves and posterity." And there was a part here too, what government was supposed to be for, right? So we learn a little bit of civics here. Government is instituted for the common good, for the protection, safety, prosperity, and happiness of the people, and not for the profit. Listen to that. What is the United States now? It's become for profit. And not for the profit, honor, or private interest of any one man, family, or class of men. Okay, because we all know, like, you know, how there's like a certain caste system going on. And I love this part here. The people of this commonwealth have the sole and exclusive right of governing themselves as a free, sovereign, and independent state, and forever hereafter shall exercise and enjoy every power, jurisdiction, and right, which is not or may not hereafter be by them expressly delegated to the United States of America in Congress assembled. So when we do our status correction, we're making sure that we're saying we're part of the jurisdiction of the original United States of America, as opposed to the fictional corporate United States, which in Title 28, subsection 3002, yes, you should know this shit by heart, it is a federal corporation. So, yes, I've been in situations where I had to click my heels and know this stuff on the spot. Like, you got to get to that place where it's like written on your heart. Thank you so much, Irvin, for taking care of some of this. See, he's on it, my friends. Don't think that you're going to clown. If anything, I should be tipping you, right, Irvin? You have to give me your Cash App. I'm going to have to give you some coffee money for being such a good moderator. I shall. You think I won't? Because I like how good you on it. You came right on, and I'm telling you, I'm going to have to give you, what's your Cash App, dear? Put it up there. Put it up there. I'll give you coffee. I appreciate you. You think I don't? Oh, I appreciate you. Because, yeah, some people got to tighten up around here because they got no damn respect. What is it? Hello. Hi, Kashawn. How are you? You don't have a Cash App? Oh, well, I guess you got to set one up, dear. So you're going to have to be my assistant. So I'm going to have to give you your just compensation. Every time you come on here, we'll put like monetary thing, it'll be like $10 or whatever. And if anyone's misrepresenting me or talking shit, right, I'm going to do like this little rewards program. If you know anyone that's trying to clown me or hate on my name, you're going to report them and you're going to send me proof that you did that and that they're talking shit, and I will give you a Cash App reward as well. Doing great. What about you? I'm doing pretty good, dear. I had half a day at work. We had a pool party, right? Hotel life, right? I didn't really go in because I'm not going to get that comfortable around coworkers, right? And I got to leave and got paid for the whole day. My new couch came in. I just did some errands. I'm like a hot mess. I'm going to go take another shower. I've been in the sun a little bit too much. I'm sweaty. And I was cleaning out my car a little bit. Got the arm roll. Always got to have the arm roll, guys. Always got to keep my Lola clean. I call my car Lola. And I'm about to go home soon. Just checking out the scenery. You want to see my beautiful view? I don't know if you can see it. It's nice over here. You can see like the trees and all that. It's just so beautiful. I love parking under this tree before I go home. It's just like a little spot. Wow, I love a pool party. Yeah, and it was a saltwater pool too. So that was even more nice. And I was like, dang. It was my time of the month, so I was like, wah, wah. And number two, I wasn't going to get that comfortable around my coworkers. There was like a bunch of boys there and stuff. I'm like, I'll let the Turkish boys go in the water and play with each other. I just did splashy with my feet. I was like the old auntie. I was like, oh, okay, there you go. I just ended up leaving. I just laid there and I tanned for a while. And then we had like a little pizza party. Like I said, very limited. Well, then I am grateful that you come on here for me, Irvin, because you're barely online, but here you are. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you. Lola, like the Rolling Stone. I didn't know. I'm going to have to look it up. Probably. I like the Rolling Stones. Can't get no satisfaction. Oh, yeah, that's my song right there sometimes. Yeah, man. I think, the Rolling Stones or Aerosmith. I think in my town here, there's a church where Aerosmith did a music video. I'm going to have to look it up. He did a music video out here. So it's like one of those towns that is like wild but so unique. There's just like so much going on here. And they made a movie out here. I think it's called Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. They went on the battleship. Pretty wild. Battleship's kind of cool if you ever go there and watch fireworks and stuff like that. I used to like hate this town so much, but then as I got older, I like learned to appreciate a little bit more. And I'm like one of the only historians around here. Like when I come on here, I'm like, we had this person from here and this person, and I'm just like, I'm actually good for the city. If anything, more people are moving out here than ever. I'm like, am I endorsing this shit too much? Probably, because every time I endorse something, it catches fire. Like I was putting people onto my favorite pie. I told you, like, you can check out my shorts. Okay. So I love Edwards pie. It's in the freezer section at Stop and Shop. I like the chocolate cream pie. It's so freaking good, right? Now when I go, I can barely find that shit. Like it was like totally out of all of the different flavors, that one was sold out the most. And I had to like really dig in the back. I was like, is it just my imagination or what? Cause like I did a short, and like sometimes I do that, and then you don't realize how much exposure just doing a little bit of content will do, right? So I'm really careful what I put on here also. I don't get too comfortable. Even though I'll be playful on these YouTube streets, I don't get too comfortable because I realize that the stuff does circulate, and it may not be today or tomorrow, but eventually, right? So if there's like, I feel like Oprah, but I don't have Oprah money. Like, oh, these are my favorite things, and if I could afford it, I would buy it for you guys. Like, this is my favorite thing, so you get one and you get one. I used to love that freaking episode, right? I was like, can I go on that episode? Oh, there you go. You looked it up? There you go, Irvin. Perfect. Central Congregational Church. Yep, Fall River, Mass. You got it. You got it. Yep. So I walk by it sometimes. Sometimes it looks like it's getting restored because it looks like the damn thing wants to like start falling down. Some of the buildings around here are older, but where I am now, it's called the Highlands. It's so pretty because like it's a lot of historical houses and stuff. And there's a lot of charm. I do like that, like especially if you have the money to restore it and make it like, you know, with the modern touch. It's really cute. So right now I'm just, you know, seeing what my options are. Western Mass is really nice. Maybe looking for lands in different parts of Mass. Western Mass, we have a lot of mountains and it's cleaner. And I think I brought up the Natural Arch. The Natural Arch. I got my little white stone from there of like pure white marble. It's like so cute, and I still like, it was such a special thing that I got from there, and I still have it. It's like gonna be an heirloom now. So, and it's really cool to the touch, like white marble. It's like when you touch it, it like stays like really cool. So it's a very interesting mineral. And in Western Mass, that's the only spot of all of North America that has a natural spot with white marble, to the point where they used to mine it a lot. And yeah, people need to not do that anymore because they make temples out of it and stuff. They made a huge temple, I think, in Hawaii, like an Indian temple, like a Hindu temple. There's a lot of Hindu temples around here, which is a little disturbing in some ways too. Like in New Jersey, they made a huge one. So, I mean, that's going to be like the dominant religion, it seems like. Seems like that's what's happening in some ways. Those people who got cars from Oprah had to, I know, right? That's funny. They should have put it in a trust. Dummies, right? They shouldn't have put it in their name. That's the thing. The millionaires know that. Like, oh, you snooze, you lose, dumb fucks. Well, if you put it in a so-called trust, right, there's like some ways where you can be tax exempt, or say that you're a traveling minister or whatever, or, you know, a lot of people, that's what they do. Like a lot of things we do, we don't even like distinguish it for what it is and stuff. And by your actions, you know, you can be doing a lot of things that would be considered in a way tax exempt, but I guess they didn't go prepared. But yeah, you have to think of those things, especially the state. Maybe it's because the state that she's in, or she in Chicago and Illinois. So yeah, you definitely got to be prepared for some of that shit. If you did win a car, like, hey, maybe I should go with some money in case. I would be calling someone. I'd be like, I need a lifeline. I need a lifeline. And I would be like making deals like, listen, can you help me pay these taxes? If we have to, we're going to sell this car, split the difference. I don't care. But we need this car now. Right? Like, give me a lifeline. Like, people don't know how to like negotiate anymore. Like, where's your peeps? There's not someone you can't borrow like $500 to $1,000. Like, they'll make out, say, I'll double your money. I'll sell it. We'll split it. Whatever you need me to do here. But I won this car and I can't leave it behind. I would not be able to sleep at night. That would suck, right? Having it so close, and then because of something stupid like that, they're like, all right, we're going to give it to the next person. That would freaking suck. That would suck. Right, Irvin, if you were there, we would know what to do. If I had your number, I would know what to do. I would be like, let me call somebody, or you could call me, and we would make a deal. All right? I would be like, whatever, right? Hello, my dear. How are you? Kishore, how are you? I have all these friendly faces in here today, finally. Of course, sorry, I'm like sweating a little bit. It's like super mild. I hope your day is going great, guys. Where are you from? Where does it sound like I'm from? I love when people try to guess my accent, if I even have one. But if you're from another part of the country, it may sound different to you, depending. Where do I sound? I am. Who's saying smash? Oh gosh, here we go. Here we go. They're coming out of the woodwork. Irvin, they're coming out of the woodwork. Where's my big stick? Where am I from? Oh, India. You from India? That's awesome. I think I have some Indian family over there as well, too, from India. My surname, if you look up Ferreira, it's also spelled with the Y, and it goes back to India. Oh, Indiana. I know, and got the word Deanna in it. That's why you're here. I know. See? Indiana. I see that. I see my name in so many things now. Aw, thank you. Well, I guess I've been called worse things, so I'll take it. If that's what you think I am, that's fine. Haha. Yeah, man. Right? There's worse things we could be called, so I appreciate that too. Because, you know, we're not getting any younger over here, so I do appreciate it. I try to keep up with myself. I want to be a hot granny one day. Like, I'm trying. I try to work out. I try to stay toned. I do, like, squats before I go to work. Like, give myself a few minutes. From America? Yes, dear. Are you? I am from America. I was born and raised here, yes. My whole family was born and raised in St. Michael, the Azores, but, I mean, you find my people in Hawaii, India, freaking Europe, Morocco, Algiers, Angola. I've met some people that are in Angola. Africa, there's a lot of Portuguese colonies too, Mozambique. So, and it's so diverse. I was born and raised in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's really diverse over here. We have a little bit of everything. That's why I like it. Near Boston. It's only like an hour away. I lived in Florida for a little while, Connecticut for a short stint when I was younger, but I just keep finding my way back up here. And, you know, there's some benefits, I guess, you know, certain people, we have like, you know, good rights up here too. Obviously, you gotta keep your shit clean, right? But, you know, if you leave people alone, they leave you alone up here. You talk so good. Thank you. I try to be well-spoken. I try to represent. I've always been a bookworm, like I said. I like to read the dictionary. I try to like, you know, I like learning new words every day. I think it's really good and helpful to read out loud. When I read, sometimes I read out loud to myself so I can hear back and make sure I pronounce my words all the way. Certain parts of the country, some people have a lot of slang, so I try to tighten it up just to sound professional too. Do you live with your family or single? That's private. Too personal. Thank you. I'm independent. Does that help you? I don't live with my mommy or daddy, if that's what you're asking. I'm independent. I'm grown. Yes. Pay my bills. All that good stuff. I have a whole lease. Very good. Keep it up, dear. Thank you. And my mommy and daddy, my daddy's already in the afterlife. Rest in peace, Dad. And my mom, she's in her 80s. She's doing great. And so that means that hopefully I have a healthy future. And she was with my dad for 50 years. I was raised in a 2-parent household. It wasn't perfect, but really solid couple. And he passed away. She was single for a few years, and she met an amazing man that seems to love her so much. He's really active in their 80s, and they got married again. So she got remarried. I look old. Oh, here we go with the West Coast bullshit. Where's your picture? It's okay. You can leave it, because especially when they're that bold to talk that bullshit, I bet you I look better than what you would be if you were my age, definitely. So I think I look pretty good. He thinks he can trigger me because some people think I'm like really vain, and that I'm really going to worry about that. It's like we're getting older every day, and I think if I seen your picture and knew how old you were, then it'd be more of a fair fight, right? because they come up and they're like, oh, you're this, you're that. This person can be like hideous. This person, you know. So now I'm like, hey, man, where's your picture? Right, Irvin? It's like, okay, well, let's see what you're holding. I will show my country, India. India, I heard, is really hot, right? Some people think I have a little goddesses. What's the name of the times? Like I'm supposed to walk around doing the work of someone with 4 arms. I forget the name of that goddess with the 4, but the number 4 comes up a lot for me too. I think the timing on this thing is starting to get janky. I think it's because my the battery is starting to go, so I'm going to wrap this up. Just don't need the negative attitude on the stream. Exactly. Talking all this shit, knowing that it's not true. It's like calling me fat. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, maybe I look a little tired. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, I look my age. And actually, not a lot of people can guess my age, right? So it's fine. It just shows that it's someone that wants attention. It's probably somebody that I dissed. There was a couple of randoms that were chasing, and I was like, I was all set. So now they're going to act up. It's okay. They're having their little hissy fit, Irvin. I can't be too old, right, if they're worrying about what I'm doing on my live. Well, thank you, Irvin. It looks like I'm like Bruce Lee doing a video. I don't think my lips are catching up to my words. Most don't guess mine. Didn't you tell me what it was? Wasn't it 52? You are a hardworking girl. I respect you. Thank you, honey. Yes, I try to. That's why I've been looking more tired lately, because I've been working more. And in my older videos, I was working from home mostly. And I just decided, hey, I want to get out there. And, you know, I'm working for my future self, right? You know, you got to plan for your retirement and all this. And, you know, I like having my nice things, you know. Yeah, 52. And I'm sure you look great. I think I seen your picture a little bit. And I bet you look better than that clown who's coming in here and talking about you look old. It's probably somebody who's like 28 already with gray hair, looking like shit, okay? Your eyes say it all. Thank you. I got big eyes, right? Yeah, my eyes have a lot of stories to share. You can tell. You can tell these eyes have seen some things. Good, bad. I've seen some things. Yes, and I'm really grateful too. You know, I just walked by a car and there was a picture of a beautiful young girl, and it said, in memory of. She couldn't have been more than 25, and it was somebody who passed away. So when you get to a certain age, and, you know, 40 plus, I'm over 40, and I'm proud of it, because God has been really good to me. Some of us, we were on the danger zone. We were living life in the fast lane when we were younger. And there's many instances where I could have got taken right out of here. So the fact that I'm still here, I'm going to continue to be grateful every day. It's not going to be an easy life, and you're not meant to like never age. You're going to age, and, you know, your time's going to come up, and then you're going to have to cross over and stuff. And the more years that you live, the more that, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. You don't fear the next part of your journey. You really don't. You're like, okay, I see what this realm has. You know, what does God have in store for me? So, you know, although I embrace my life, don't be scared of, you know, the future or the unknown and stuff, right? Many people have already gone to that part, right? And we're still here. We're still behind, you know, some people. I never drank or smoked or did any. I stay out of the sun too. That's good. That's good. Well, some of us, you know, we had a little fun. I do like the sun. Hopefully it doesn't age me too fast, but it does absorb the vitamin D. I do like vitamin D. It makes me feel better. I don't drink, just sparingly, even having like a few sips. I'll do like 1 beer if I'm having a burger, but I think that's helped me too, getting some sleep. I do drink a lot of caffeine. I am trying to do my best, but exercise too is a really great way to stay as young as you can. My sister, she's actually over 50, and she's super athletic and has a body better than, you know, some freaking 25-year-olds out there. So she teaches me that it can be done, right? You just got to keep up with yourself, and she's doing great, you know, and so I'm not scared to get older. I like to drink. Hey, to each their own. You know, my dad loved his wine. Hey, you know, if you you know, do what you're supposed to do and you're responsible in this life, as long as you don't turn into a mean drunk and go crazy and turn into the damn Hulk, that is your damn prerogative, right? That's fine. Weed, beer, and coffee, hey, that's fine too, right? I am 420 friendly over here. Very 420 friendly. Generational alcoholism. Yeah, this can happen in certain families. That's why I like to stay away from drinking a little bit. I wouldn't have a problem with it. It makes me a little bit emotional and tired and like cranky, so it doesn't help my personality to drink too much, so I'd rather not. I don't need it. But the herb, yeah, the herb is pretty good. It helps some of us like chill, and I get like really wavy and stuff, so very 420 friendly here. Just for fun. Hey, that is fine too. Some people do it medicinally, you know, some people it's actually better than what's prescribed out there. You know what I mean? If you're feeling a certain type of way, you're dealing with, you know, a lot of hardships in your life, that takes the edge off. You know what I mean? If you're working too hard, putting too much pressure on yourself, anxiety, that can help you prevent like heart issues, because if you have a lot of anxiety, it's going to put a lot of pressure on your heart too. Makes me a little sad. Well, then you got to do upbeat things. You can get in your head too much and like start to think. So I like to take on a project. You can read a book or watch some comedy. Do something upbeat then if you feel like that's going to happen. Or maybe it's the strand. Maybe you need something that is a little different, because some strands are just like too much, or maybe reduce the concentration of it, and I think it'd be fine. My dad was I've seen, yeah. I've had associates and neighbors. Yeah, I've seen it too. And we all know, you know, how they're brought into the communities and all of that, and that the medical industry is no better because they create those types, right? You can hurt your back or your knee and then be put on painkillers, and then turn to that stuff. And a lot of the dealers too, you know, God don't sleep, some of them would have their own substance abuse issues too, maybe, and not in the same way, not the same substances that they may be pushing, but I seen them maybe addicted to Percocets and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So you know, we need to be careful. That's why, like, the industry, the different industries that are out there, it's like it was hard for me to find work that I was comfortable with, because, you know, the main thing is the medical industry, and a lot of the times, you know, you got to push drugs and do things that I'm not comfortable with, right? So the hotel industry, at least, it's an industry where people are happy. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm helping you have a good vacation. So I feel okay about that. You know, not all money is clean money. You know, there's some fields, yeah, you make good money, but, you know, you got to do some weird shit. And I'm not going to just do whatever for a paycheck. You know what I mean? My soul means a lot to me too. I need to feel okay at the end of the day. It's 3:26. Wow. I think it's like near 6 o'clock here. I can't see the time right now in America. Mumbai, I love that. Ooh, it's so cool. I wish I could travel more. But India, yeah, that is that. Well, yeah. Don't forget about me. If I ever go visit, I'm going to go looking for you then, Kishore, okay? I don't want to be abducted anywhere, okay? But it would be nice to have networking people, you know? I do have a passport, so if I decided to get on a plane and use it, then I would need to call a friend. Like, where would I stay, right? You would have to tell me all the good places to stay, and you'd have to give me the tour. Of course. All right. So don't forget me. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel then. I don't know if this is your first time here, but make sure you stay subscribed to my channel. Erwin, where did you go, Erwin? Erwin, I didn't forget about you, my dear. And Erwin, I think you need to set up some type of Cash App or something, because I would like to say thank you. How am I going to say thank you? You have been so loyal thus far, and I love what you're doing for me. Thank you, dear. My email, take my email if you ever need anything, or if I have any notes that can help you. I know you don't do any type of information exchange, but if you have a PayPal, I could send you a little something just to say thank you. I'm not saying you even have to do that much. If you're not comfortable, that's fine. But my email is dia-@yahoo.com. just in case anybody has any questions and I'm not on live that day or I get really busy, because some days I don't know if I even have time for this stuff. So there'll be some days that I won't even post at all. Maybe I'll do a short here and there, but sometimes I'm like extremely busy. But thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna let it go. Next time I'm gonna have my notes cocked and loaded, and just to go over some of the things that I do teach and share, so you can know. I put you on to Meet Your Straw Man. I actually buy them in bulk too. So if you had a PO box, I could just mail you one. I do this sometimes for my friends, my students, whatever, because I put together my foundation. It's called True North. And so I also do things like, nonprofit activities, just like the original government was supposed to be nonprofit, right? So although I take, if people wanted to donate eventually, I buy supplies, I buy books, I buy the things that I pour back into you guys. And that way I can give you guys, your gifts, your thank yous as well, too. Maybe I'll do some with gift cards as well, too, to thank some of my viewers. And I try to help those that are in need, because there's a lot of people that are hurt and homeless. I know some people do it to themselves with the drug issues. I get it. But there's some people that just really need help, that were in a domestic violence situation, or a lot of times their rights were denied. I like going over tenants' rights too. Tenants' rights. People think they don't have rights, but you guys do. And that's what I like about Massachusetts too. Like, they do observe certain things. So, I've had success in certain situations, and it is what it is. I know a lot of people are going to call it a liberal state. It's whatever. There's a lot of conservative people here too. It depends. If you are in honor and you have a good case, then that's what matters, really. Please repeat your email. My email is Dia, D-I-A, like short for Diana. I go by Dia as well, like for day. Dia dash, like the channel, at yahoo.com. I made one just for the channel. So like that way things come in. I also have one for True North. It's True North 144 at protonmail.com. So I do things, and I have an academy on Patreon. I'm going to lower the price of some of the tiers, but I go into it and we really go into some of the stuff too. And I'm going to make videos where I'll make it on the topic and we'll go into like the step-by-steps. I may start making ebooks. Instead of going on and on, I can just do ebooks like, hey, if you want to get this done, these are the steps. Someone asked me about how do you create a claim of life. Very easy, but if you need the wording, I'll have the template, and there you go. I can put an example in there, and that way, people will have it. So stuff like that I really like, and holistic medicine. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. We did it almost an hour. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. Please reach out if you need any assistance. Thank you for your support, guys. You've totally graced me. You've totally blessed my day. Thank you. Enjoy the weather, Irvin. Thank you. Continue to be you. Thank you for showing up and showing out like you always do, right? You got these suckers right in their place. Real man vibes. So enjoy your day. Sorry that, I'm looking like Bruce Lee. It keeps like glitching. And we'll pick up again soon this week, okay? Stay blessed and stay well.